Okay, so for my status quo, when I started, I was struggling with organization. My thoughts, my commitments, was really worried. I tried several kind of processes to kind of keep me organized and keep me on top of my task, but I didn't feel that they were as successful as I needed them to be. And so I was very worried and I was just like, how am I going to figure this out? There's got to be a better way for this. So that was my status quo when I began Yellow Belt. For my call to adventure, I always discuss with my director my development. I'm always looking to develop. So constantly sharing with her. I'm taking LinkedIn courses. I'm always looking for something to grow me, to develop me. I know I can do better. I want to do better. And she had shared with me the information for the Yellow Belt program. There was a class currently taking it, and there was already someone signed up for the next one. So she said somewhere in 2024, I would be able to start the program. Refusal of the call. So when she let me know that I was starting in January, which is when I was transitioning into my new role, I was very overwhelmed. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. This is going to be a lot. I definitely didn't want to fail. But I guess with my old brain and always taking on too much, I was just like, hey, I can do this. I'm going to get through it one way or another, even if I have to stay up all night. I'm going to get this done. It was something that was really important to me too, especially with stepping into my new role. Now with having a team and leading them, I just want to make sure that I put my best foot forward. So I went ahead and said, this is all aligning for me. So for meeting the mentor, George, one of the first things he said to me was, you're not supposed to know the answers, right? I came into the first class and I had this mindset where I wanted to know the answers and just understand and grasp everything. And I kind of left that meeting feeling very frustrated. And George said to me, allow yourself to be a student and receive the information. And that was very helpful because it was like, stop, you're learning. So take in the information. Heather was very instrumental throughout all of this. One of the biggest things that she helped me with was kind of setting time to focus, right? I was looking at my calendars. I'm in and out of meetings all day, training. There wasn't really time for much. So I arranged the meeting with Heather and she showed me how she set up some focus time for her. So I started putting that into my calendar and it was such a huge change just to be able to have some time, even if I put 15 minutes in to complete my Harada diary, it was just so instrumental for me. So crossing the threshold for me, it was, okay, I have so many roles. How can I get organized? How can I get my work done? I'm always taking on more than I should. I'm getting by, but it's not healthy. I need a new way of thinking. So this was just me continuing to push through everything with the goal of me getting to this picture right here where everything is less chaotic, where I'm achieving what I want to achieve, but in a healthy way. So for my test, allies and enemies, I focused on putting on my allies. So I have George, I have my Yellow Belt family here. So Pamela, Dennis, Bruno, Nick, Heather. I also have some people who have been very instrumental in supporting me and just giving me that encouragement, which is definitely needed. And then I put Vicky on here as well. Vicky's always instrumental, but what I really appreciated about Vicky is that early on in the class, she sent me an email and was asking me about one of my specialists and in regards to their orders and order importations and suggested that maybe I could take this on as a Yellow Belt assignment. And I love that. And I did make it one of my goals. And what was really meaningful for me is that I didn't even know where to start with the questions that she was asking with, right? I've never really had to deal with orders and anything like that. So it really helped me to start from the beginning. PDCA, I built an A3 story for this to kind of help me guide my way. I'm in the proposal phase and I will be meeting with her really soon to go over what I have and get her feedback and her questions and ideas on this. So, for the approach, one of the things George said to me was do more by doing less. And that drove me a little insane because I'm like, with everything I have to do, how can I do less? Like, how am I going to do more by doing less? I didn't understand it. I was just like, I don't get this. So, the very top three things for me at this point was self care, right? I needed to make sure that I was taking care of myself because I had so much on my plate. So, to make sure that I kept my sanity, I kept my health. At this point, I was suffering from a lot of back pain. I have scoliosis, but this was more consistent, more sharp pain. It was very uncomfortable. It was really hard to get through my days just trying to like not pay attention to the pain. And then just work and personal. So at home, getting my kids to help more around the house so that everything doesn't fall on me. So for my ordeal, death, and rebirth, I realized that I put more than 75% of the pressure, and that's probably me being nice about it. It's probably more than that. My performance would be better if I didn't put as much pressure on myself. So, reward seizing the sword. The sword is knowing it's okay. Just see 1 week in front of me. So, my sword is my mural, which one helped me to develop my goals and then to break down my goals. Like I knew what my goal was, I knew what where I wanted to get to, but I didn't know how to get there. And my problem is there's never like the meat in between it. It's I'm here, I have to get to there. How do I jump over there? And so this kind of slowed my thinking, which is in fact very painful to stop and really just think about the step that you have in front of you, where you are, and then just the next little step that you're going to take. So this was very instrumental for me. The road back was applying this with my number one team, my family. They are just my reason for everything. And if I don't have it together here, I will not have it together in any other aspect of my life because this is what really matters. So, implementing the chore chart and implementing a weekly schedule. The most amazing one was implementing game night. It's just been amazing sharing this journey with them, having their support, them seeing how stressed I was and saying, you got this, don't worry, like you can do this, you're amazing. So, definitely just applying this with my family. So, resurrection, one thing that I will always remember, one phrase that's always going to stick with me, stand out with me, I'm probably going to have a plaque made of it, is a little better every day. I, of course, with putting the pressure on myself, I wanted to be able to get this material and information from George, especially the tools that he gave me. And I just wanted to immediately get to them every single day, which isn't really realistic. I need to give myself time, right? I already have habits that I form that I follow every day, and I kind of have to go back, break those habits. And so just reminding myself that I'm just striving for a little better every day, and that is more than rewarding. So returning with the elixir, I put a lot of the tools on here. I'm gonna say my number one is going to be my Harada daily diary. It just helps me to set up my day. I know where it's going, but the biggest part for me is reflecting at the end, seeing what I felt didn't go well, and actually making comments to myself. So there's a little slot to say what would you have done differently. So really taking the time to be honest with myself, what would I have done differently, and kind of implementing those changes if I can, and if I can't, sharing them with someone else to kind of get feedback and see what I can do to make things more favorable. I have the plan, do, check, act. So now when I look at my team's projects and tasks, the first thing I do is think about the plan, do, check, act. I actually just thought about I'm going to be implementing weekly meetings, and I'm going to be using these tools and presenting it to them so that I'm visualizing everything, not only for myself, but for them, and engaging all of them all together. I have my A3 stories, which is a pattern for presenting. I have my kata, which is my pattern for removing obstacles from my path. I have my stream mapping it's my pattern for taking things one step at a time. Remember to celebrate. So I do have my 50 grateful things because I do great things and I need to celebrate it. And I also want to celebrate others because we're all doing great things. And I think it's important to just remember that and remind others. Then I have the problem solving, which is a pattern for developing. And of course, my Mosey's, finding something I can improve on every day. And then I have my yellow belt family in the middle because they were just so supportive and instrumental through this journey. So I've included them there. And then finally, for my new status quo for today, I no longer feel overwhelmed and distant from my family. I'm engaging my family to help develop and continue building our bond. So with that, it's the chore chart, the weekly planner, the family game night. In the middle, I am no longer experiencing consistent sharp back pain. I have implemented wellness goals into my day. So I have my 10,000 daily step goal. I have my Harada diary. I am committing more to my development. So I'm doing Duolingo, typing, reading, and then for work, I no longer have 6 arms. I have tools that help me to get organized, plan, delegate, and work towards resolutions. I have focus time. I reflect on my day and what I can change, and I'm mapping out projects and tasks. So that is the end of my hero's journey. So I don't know if we're doing questions now or if you wanted me to go to.
Yeah, quickly review your 64 chart.
Sure.
And then we'll do questions. You got lots of time.
Okay. So for my 64 chart, I did change it. I did put I am the best manager leader for my team. I'm a very humble person. So what I've included in there is self-care. A lot of my goals are in here. So self-care, self-development. I have developed communication and critical skills within my family. I plan my day doing Harada diary, daily diary entry every week. I have completed 4 leadership courses by December. I have doubled the productivity in my department, and I incorporate vital planning elements into my goal setting. So I have here my steps. I do have to update this because some of them are done, but it's basically I've taken everything that I have learned that I've been able to apply in the course and put it here. One of the ones I changed was self-care. It wasn't really one of my goals in my mural, but the self-care was instrumental, continues to be, and will always be. So I've included that in there. Okay, and then, so George, there's no stars because I didn't know how to put the color in there, so you'll have to help me with that. But my biggest learning, honestly, was using and implementing the tools. So all the ones that I've mentioned already, I felt that everything in my life was chaotic because I had so much to do, but I couldn't really grasp healthy and organized way of doing it. It was just keep going, keep going, keep going. Don't think about stopping. And this actually helped me to take a step back, to get organized, to set up focus time, to set a plan. And the tools are what's helping me develop those plans and stay on target. And then the changes I will make is that I will make use of these tools every day. I will also continue to develop myself in order to use my manager team mural. So I did ask George to create a mural for me. And one thing that was really huge that I forgot to mention, but being able to sit in on the meeting where Cal presented, I thought the tools were great and I knew that I wanted to use them, but I definitely had doubts. And I was just like, realistically, after this course, how am I going to continue to use this? A lot of it is going to get lost. Is this really going to work? Is my team going to accept it? And when Kyle presented his mural and all the work that he has put into it, how it's helped him, it just connected everything and it made everything real for me. So I'm going to use that to ensure that I am doing the best that I can. I will develop my team to use the mural as well to help keep us engaged as a team and efficient. Thank you.
Congratulations. Awesome. Pamela.
I have.
Okay.
So then, how was the reaction of the people that are around you, your family, your team workers? I mean, did they say at some point, "Hey, Dani, you seem different"? I mean, what was the reaction over all this changes that you are putting on practice?
So at home with my family, they were just very supportive. To be honest, when I thought about introducing the chore chart, I thought I was going to be met with a lot of negativity, but it was actually very positive. Everybody was really excited. I've been sharing my journey with them and just letting them know like how I'm implementing it. They do see a change at work. To be honest, the biggest thing is the steps. At first, it was a little awkward, but now everybody's like, "How many steps do you have, Dani?" And then, like, we just get into the conversation, and then I'm able to share my journey with Yellow Belt. So it's been really good. I've been receiving positive feedback. I shared the A3 story with my director. I shared the project stream mapping that I started, and she was just really blown away by it. And she was just like, "Wow." So, and
Congrats.
George, before I forget, George, the lavender is for you. It's for me,
Oh
but
yeah.
it's a
Oh,
reminder for
that's
you.
nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's awesome. How many steps were you doing before, and how many steps now on average?
Yeah, I don't even think before the course I was hitting like 3,000 steps. I was really sitting all day long. So 3,000 would have been like, oh my God, I made 3,000. And now I'm averaging anywhere from 14,000 to 17,000 a day. And I feel the difference. I have energy. Like I said, I'm not experiencing the pain. The pain did take away a lot from like my focus, me getting my work done. Yeah, I'm just ready to take on the day now. Any other questions?
Congrats. Great
Thank
job.
you.
That's,
Good job, Dani.
lots of good information.